بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله تعالى وبركاته. This is me, Prof. Dr. Nasruddin Ahmed Kabashi from International Islamic University, Malaysia. I'm very thankful for the UN Habitat 2024, and I want to thank as well Egypt for hosting this 12th Habitat session. In today's session, I want to highlight about the impact of war on Sudan from various aspects. One of the most important part of them is infrastructure, air pollution, soil, and water pollution. This one may be the first study in Sudan that highlight or focus on the effect of war on Sudan for different aspects of environmental impact. And all the data that has been gathered over here has been collected from various sources, as of Sudan Journalist Association, Medical Sudanese Association, Engineer Sudanese Association, and some NGOs, and some cases that we gathered from Sudan. The war caused massive destruction to the country's infrastructure. Almost around 55% residential buildings have been completely destroyed, 40% of markets, and 60% of critical buildings and facilities in capital, including presidential palace, parts of army headquarters, and several museums, historical buildings, ministries, and both public and private institutions, some of which were completely burned. More than 70% of schools, universities, institutes, and public and private colleges in Sudan has been partial or completely damaged. The impact of this war on Sudan infrastructure, more than 80% of hospitals, private and public hospitals, are completely out of services. And the Minister of Health estimated that the funding needed to rehabilitate the sector at approximately $11 billion. The country's industrial infrastructure has suffered total destruction and damage. Experts consider the industrial sector to be the most affected, with estimate indicating that around 80% of its production units have been lost following complete and partial damage to more than 600 factories, including 400 in Khartoum alone. More than 70% of branches out of 39 governments and commercial banks operating in the industry have gone out of services. As well, that the bill estimated around 150 billion needed for the infrastructure right now if the war stopped right now. The estimates, economist expert estimates as well, total war losses so far to be over $500 billion without accounting for destruction that may have been caused by recent attacks. We have some impact that has been as well happening to the soil. That is the environmental impact happening to the soil. It comes from the mass destruction from the weapons that has been affected on the country. All greenhouse gas emission globally has been increased. In Sudan has been increased tremendously for this war. Military training creates emission, disruption of landscapes, and terrestrial of marine habitat, and create chemical and noise pollution from the use of weapons, aircrafts, and vehicles as well. Agriculture considered as a major economic activity in Sudan, whereby 80% of the people engage in crop production and animal husbandry. The principal food crops are sorghum and millets, while the cash crops are cotton, groundnuts, sesame, and gum arabic. The main animal wealth comes from cattle, from sheep, from goats, and camels. All of those, unfortunately, has been completely affected. And the production of all of those resources has been in danger since that time. The current livestock population is estimated to be at 27.7 million animal units, whereby these animal units, according to the United Nations, considered as of one cow plus one calf for their equivalent. So you can imagine all of this one now is completely out of service. In Sudan war, large volume of military scraps are there, and this one has been wrecked, damaged ships, submarines, oil well, especially in Al north of Khartoum, infrastructure, can cause marine pollution as well, which will be added to the soil and to the air pollution. Many conventional weapons have toxic constituents. Others, such as depleted uranium, are also radioactive. Incendiary weapons, such as white phosphorus, are not only toxic but can also damage habitat through fire. The widespread use of chemical defoliants damage public and ecological health across large areas of Sudan, from Khartoum to Jazeera to Darfur and other parts of Sudan as well. Easy access to small arms and light weapons can harm wildlife through facilitating increased hunting and poaching, and the ungoverned spaces created by war creates ideal condition for wildlife crime, harming conservation program that run by United Nations. Human displacement as well add on to the problem, whereby many people they locate out of the cities in camps, whereby in those camps they are absent of water, clean water, absent of the and they just discharge or release themselves anywhere in the camps. This one adds on to the problem to Sudan. Waste management as well, it is a great and big issues right now in Sudan, whereby the waste just dumping everywhere, any part of the countries. So the existing war also creates serious technological risk, adding to the infrastructure. Soil issues, degradation of soil has been a lot of problem coming, which lead to environmental problems such as water pollution and desertifications. The ongoing war in Sudan has led profound effect on the soil, leading to degradation and reduced agricultural productivity. Those key impacts that we notice, based on the expert, are on soil erosion, whereby heavy metal operation, including bombing and troop movement, disturb topsoil, increase erosion, starting from Darfur, Khartoum, Al Jazeera, Sinnar, Sinja. All of those areas has been completely affected. Deforestation, war-driven deforestation worsens soil erosion and reduces fertility, especially in Dindir, Sinnar, Al Jazeera as well. Contamination, explosive chemical used in warfare may introduce toxin to the soil, contaminating it for agricultural use in Sudan, Al Jazeera, and other parts of Sudan as well. Loss of agricultural land, and this one is well noticed because even there is no workers to take care of the agricultural land. This unsafe soil from Khartoum hospital, for example, from the different labs of specialized equipment like X-ray, like CT scan, like Raman, all of this one now, it is a real, a serious environmental problem issues, which will add on to the problem of soil, will add to the Sudan. And this unsafe radiation from radiation hospital and its consequence to the environment will be a great problem later on. You can imagine that we have General Lab of Sudan, which is known as the stack, and all unwanted dangerous liquid from clinics and labs are just destroyed every part in Sudan, and this one will go to water bodies and will go to the soil as well, and no one can predict what may happen later on in Sudan. Adding to the soil, to the pollution and release of heat is extensive use of aircraft from April 2023 up to date. There are 15 cities in Sudan where 40% to 80% destroyed today. Estimates around 1 billion ton of bombs dropped on most of the cities in Sudan. Obviously, a very large amount of heat is represented by these quantities. A variation in temperature is shown very clearly now in Sudan. A distinct increase in temperature from 2023 up to 2024 up to date is well noticed. Soil issues have been also added on from the air pollution, whereby we notice hundreds of thousands of tons of carbon monoxide, which is the main reason for cancer, nitrogen oxides, hydrocarbons, sulfur dioxide, in addition to carbon dioxide, all of them as a result of bombing, which are affecting the air pollution and soil as well. Adding to the pollution and release of heat is extensive, the use of aircraft up to now. This one adds on to the problem, and unfortunately, it also creates additional pollution, which is produced eventually by manufacturing and reconstruction process. What are the needed right now from people all over the world to know about Sudan? That we need immediate action as of soil assessment and mapping. We need to do that one immediately so as to allow the people of Sudan to live without hunger later on in the country. We need emergency remediation, whereby we would like to remove all the hazard material, soil decontamination, or isolation of contaminated areas. We need food security initiatives. We need support from United Nations so as to allow the people to live in peace and without hunger later on. For the long-term restoration strategies, we need soil conservation, implement soil conservation measures to prevent further erosion and degradation. Organic farming is highly needed. Reforestation and forestation is very important, needed for Sudan. Community-based initiative whereby we need to empower local communities to be part of soil restoration efforts. Research and development must do their part immediately from all institutes, from all NGO, so as to play a vital role in Sudan to restore the soil back to its normality. Policy and institutional support, this one is highly needed, whereby we need very clear policies and institutions to support soil restoration and sustainable land management. Foreign aid is highly needed, and as a statement in the first slide that it all starts at home, and our home here now right now is Sudan. So therefore, we need foreign aid so as to allow our home Sudan to be immediate. We need immediate international aid and support for soil restoration efforts. We need regional collaboration from all over our neighbors so as to support Sudanese environment issues. Thank you very well. This is the first session that I've talked today. In short, I'm going to highlight about the air pollution and water quality